When you lose someone you once loved, especially someone who broke you first, it's complicated. But when that person's family tries to manipulate your grieving children for their own selfish gain, that's war. I'm 46. I have two amazing daughters, 17 and 15. Their father, my ex-husband, died in a tragic accident last year. But he didn't just leave behind a grieving family, he left behind chaos. Because when he died, he was in the middle of a divorce. With me. A divorce caused by his affair. Oh, and the cherry on top? His mistress died in the same accident, leaving behind two infant boys. My ex's affair babies. My daughters were the ones who discovered the affair. They saw the messages, the photos, the lies unraveling. They told me. It broke our family. And now, those same girls are being targeted for not loving the children born from the affair that shattered our lives. Tension builds. The market incident. It was my youngest birthday weekend. We decided to make it fun, just the three of us at the weekend farmers market. It's a special place, filled with fresh produce, local honey, handmade sweets, that kind of magic. I gave her some money and let her explore, thinking she'd come back with candy and a smile. But instead, I got a phone call from her, crying, "Mum, they're yelling at me, some old women. I don't know what to do." My heart dropped. I ran. My oldest ran with me. We found her surrounded by 6 older women. Church ladies, the type who smell like lavender and carry Bibles bigger than their handbags, but there was nothing holy about their words. "You ungrateful girl," one spat. "How dare you abandon your grandparents and your poor baby brothers? You need to open your heart, be a real Christian." My daughter stood frozen, tears rolling down her face. She didn't even look 15 in that moment, she looked 5. Just a scared kid being ambushed by strangers. And me, I saw red. I stepped in between them and my child, turned to my eldest and said, "Go pay for your sister's stuff, get to the car."
Some of them I recognized.
Then I faced the women from the church my ex's parents still attended, the church we left years ago, and they recognized me too. "You should be ashamed," one said, pointing her bony finger at my chest. "A good Christian wife would have stood by her husband. Your daughters are turning into selfish heathens." I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. Sometimes fury is quieter than thunder. "If you ever come near my daughters again, you'll regret it," I told them coldly. "You have no idea what we've been through, and frankly, you don't deserve to." Eventually, the shouting escalated enough that market security asked all of us to leave. Those women followed me like a pack of vultures all the way to my car, but I kept my composure. For my daughters. At home, after the girls went to bed, I collapsed onto the couch, angry, hurt, but mostly determined, because I knew something they didn't. They were about to find out exactly who they were messing with. The discovery and the lie. I reached out to a former friend from that church, a decent guy, someone who still had a shred of humanity. I told him what happened, and he apologized. Then he told me something worse. Apparently, my ex-mother-in-law had posted this elaborate sob story on the church Facebook group. According to her, we had kicked her and her husband out of our lives, left them destitute, and refused to care for the orphaned twins. And somehow, she managed to spin the story without admitting her precious son cheated. She claimed the twins were the result of a surrogacy arrangement, that I couldn't have more kids, and that I rejected them because they were boys. I nearly vomited.
Had every piece
If
of
you want a
evidence
war
from the
lady,
divorce,
I thought,
photos
I'll give
of
you my
one.
ex and his affair partner making out in our living room, screenshots of their texts, messages from his parents encouraging him to lie to me, their harassment of me and worse, of my daughters. One email where they literally called my daughters bastards and blamed them for their father's death. That message came 2 days after he died. I took it all, and then I made it beautiful. Execution, the binders of truth. The next morning, I went to a print shop and paid extra for high-quality full-color prints. Then I went home and got creative. I put together binders, ones that looked exactly like the church's hymn booklets, cover to cover. Same fonts, same formatting, but when you opened it, page 1, a full-color picture of my ex and his mistress, locked in a kiss, in my house. Underneath, I wrote ex-husband's name and affair partner's name, a love story. The rest of the binder? A curated collection of betrayal, lies, and the venom his family spewed at my daughters. I made 10 copies, personalized, and before the next Sunday service, I walked in like nothing happened. At the back of the church, there's a table with songbooks for anyone who forgets theirs. No one checks, no one watches. I slipped in my binders, camouflaged among the holy words, and I walked out. The fallout, Judgment Day. It didn't take long. The Facebook group exploded. Turns out, some very pious church ladies flipped to a random hymn and saw something they could never unsee. That Jezebel. He cheated in her living room? And the parents knew? The gossip mill went nuclear. The pastor tried to calm it all down, but it was too late. Some people were still mad at me because I divorced a troubled man instead of leading him back to the light. But the rest? They turned on my ex-in-laws hard. The aftermath. I received 2 apology letters for my daughters and 1 invitation to return to the church for support. Yeah, no thanks. As for my ex-in-laws, shunned, quietly, but completely. My ex-mother-in-law made a sad little Facebook post about how no one cares for the elderly anymore and how she missed her great son who would have cared for us. With what money? He didn't even work. I was the breadwinner. He died broke. I supported those kids, and for the record, his will left everything to his parents, not his daughters. He lied about that too. But I don't want their money. I just wanted the truth out. And now? It is. There's something delicious about a revenge that doesn't involve shouting, just truth. Cold, hard, irrefutable truth. There they were, righteous, manipulative liars, crushed under the weight of their own hypocrisy. And the best part, I never broke a law. I didn't scream, I didn't even touch them. All I did was show people what they were really like. And when someone shows you who they are, believe them. Sometimes justice doesn't come from a courtroom, it comes from a mom who's had enough, a mom whose daughters deserve peace, and who refuses to let liars rewrite the truth. Because when someone tries to weaponize your past, hand them the whole file. If this story gave you chills, hit that like button and subscribe, and tell me in the comments what's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen, because justice, when served cold and classy, is the best dish of all.